not very akin to the system you follow, apparently. Though the fundamentals, after a study will appear to be practically identical. The language of sound is perhaps universal and understandable by any citizen of the world. It has got a charm peculiar to its own character. The 7 notes, their intricacies, their fundamental relations, their permutation and combination, their tonal relationships, all these, as I understand, are intelligible to any civilized citizen of the world. Broadly speaking, the art of music has been developing along 2 main broad paths, the harmonic and the melodic. The Occident progressed and developed the harmonic system according to his own genius, and the Orient attempted to develop the melodic system according to his own genius and cultural heritage. I am particularly happy to find the Occident brethren more interested in our art, though it is usually difficult to understand each other because of the apparent variations and developments peculiar to our own hemisphere. Indian music is very simple, at the same time very complicated. It has got a glorious tradition and history. We believe that our art has originated from the eternal Vedas, from the Sama Veda, one of the main Vedas, and attribute to our music such a spiritual status which is peculiar to our own tradition. The Sama Veda is a Veda chant complementing all the 7 swaras. Kari sa ni da pa is a descending scale from which our music is supposed to have developed to a remarkable degree. We have got a swara system practically akin to you. The well-known 12 swaras, your flats and sharps are having parallels with us also. The Shadja and Panchama, that is the tonic and the fifth, which are the basic notes for any permutation and combination, have got other notes along with them with their corresponding higher notes and lower notes. We might call them by different names, but the tonal quality will be visible and audible to any sensible man, to any developed musical ear. I am not much conversant with Western music, but still I could see or I could appreciate whenever I hear a good music some similarity with our music also. So also I find Western people taking interest in our music, and they are able to appreciate also in due course our own music. I can say with certain pride that our own friend in so short a time, round about 1 year and odd, has learned to some extent the fundamentals of our art, and he is able to sing the very simple forms of Indian music and a few, 2 or 3 or 4 of the complicated varieties also as well. He has by now developed some decent appreciation about our art also. Now, our music, as I have told you, has got a wonderful swara system, and the swaras by themselves, when they are combined in different fashions, go to build what are called ragas. The nearest term of a raga is a scale in Western music, but it is not sufficiently comprehensive to equate a raga with a scale. We call a scale a mere mela, so to say, a collection of notes. For instance, the major diatonic scale, well known to all of us, will be a simple skeleton of notes. Sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa, sa, ni, da, pa, ma, ga, re, sa. That is the simple scale of notes pronounced without any grace or gamaka or ornamentation. But the Indian student cannot stop at this stage. He builds a peculiar concept around this skeleton called a raga. What is a raga? A raga will be a melodic form woven round this set skeleton with specific ornamentations of the notes and tonal graces peculiar to our system. And I can just try to demonstrate what it means. Taking this major diatonic scale as an example, I am using the self-same notes. Sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa, sa, ni, da, pa, ma, ga, re, sa. These notes, when I use in a raga, will have a form something like this. Now this caricature of a raga is just an outline sketch of the innumerable possibilities, the infinite varieties of expression that is possible for an artist depending upon his mood and circumstances. We have got such splendid instances when an artist could go on elaborating and improvising a single raga of this sort for hours together and even days together, continuing the sitting day by day. Now this is practically infinite in scope. Now returning to the fundamentals again, there are certain differences in our country regarding the application of the voice and the various tones. We in India are not specific about the so-called fixation of a pitch throughout. We can choose our own desired pitch. Each artist has got his own option of choosing the pitch. This is a peculiarity with the Western music, where you choose or you have to choose a definite pitch, international pitch. Now, your span therefore leads to some 10 or 11 octaves, and you have got peculiar voices fitted for such spans, the bass, the soprano, alto, tenor, and so on. We have got also such types of voices, though we do not classify them as such by compartments. But our music is practically confined to 3 octaves. Our instruments are so designed, our voices are also so cultivated to have the span of these 3 octaves, and our permutations and our combinations, our developments are confined to these 3 octaves. A voice is said to be ideal when it can cover a span of 3 octaves. Our instruments are also having more or less the same range. Now, another peculiarity is we Indians take the vocal as the standard, and all other instruments try to follow or imitate or get to perfection with vocal as the standard. I think that it is not the same way in your part of the country. Their instruments take more priority, if you have not mistaken. That does not mean that we do not give importance to instruments as such. We also have a variety of instruments like veena, the gotuvadyam, the mridangam, and so on. Some of them musical instruments, some of them rhythmic instruments. But we give the due place for the instruments. We try to understand the technique. We practice, but keeping in mind that vocal is a standard, and the instrument should produce as much perfected music as the vocal does. Incidentally, the vocal musician also tries to produce some of the niceties of the instrument, but that is only by the way. Even the typical Indian instrument veena is manufactured or constructed according to the human system. The spinal column and the bone pieces, 24 in number, as physiologists know, they are represented in the 24 tracks. The belly from which the sound comes, the veena also has got a corresponding belly. Then the resonator on the left side corresponding to our head portion, which resonates with us, and so on and so forth. This human system is called Gatra veena, and the instrument is called Veena. This is enough to say that we believe in the divine power of our art. If the human system is taken to be as high class and as a model, as an ideal, that itself shows that we pay more attention or devotion to Godhead. In our art also, this idea of spirituality is prevalent throughout. No music worth the name is considered to be acceptable, but for the fact that it pertains to some aspect of divinity. Our composers of repute, they have sung in spiritual terms about Godhead, about philosophy and all that. Our temples are rich with musical associations and sculptures. Our concept of sound itself is absolute Godhead in the form of sound. All these go to the fact that we Indians take to art not as a mere entertainment subject, but as a subject of deep meditation or spiritual realization. Incidentally, the professional aspect creeps in, but that is only by the way. Our model artists of repute have paved the way for the absolute approach of the art. Now, we have got, broadly speaking, the composed music and the improvised music, and we have got the plan of the concept, and we have got other departments of art, namely the Harikatha and associated art like Bharatanatyam, Kathakali, and so on. About these things, if time permits, I will continue the next discourse. Thank you.